Alright, welcome back. Lesson 2 for Booklet 3. This one just goes kind of what we talked about at the end, but more of a formal lesson for it. It's dealing with percents and converting them into decimals, not the fractions, but the decimals. So actually having the fraction and dividing it. So just as a percent can be expressed as a fraction, so too can a percent be expressed as a decimal. This lesson is about learning how to convert percents to decimals and back again. This is going to be important for when we start working with tax and calculating tax and discounts and things like that. So example 1 says express 58% as a decimal. So we know 58% is 58 out of 100, which is 58 divided by 100. When I put that into my calculator and I put 58 divided by 100, we should get 0.58. All it does is put the decimal in front. Always our percents are always 0, decimal, whatever number we have. Let's try some more of these ones. So if I have 19% as a decimal, that means 19 out of 100, or 19 divided by 100, which is 0.19, which makes sense. It's less than 1. 19 out of 100 is less than 1 whole. And we can continue this through, and you'll start to see some patterns here. 87% could be 87 out of 100, or 0.87. 36%. When I divide those, 0.36. And finally 5%. This one a lot of people seem to mix up. Would be 5 out of 100, and that's 0.05. Not 0.5. A lot of people think it's that, but that would be 50 out of 100, not 5 out of 100. So continuing through, we have the opposite. If we go backwards, express 0.41 as a percent. Well, what we do in that case is we do the opposite. Instead of dividing, we're going to multiply. 0.41 is 41%. So I take all these numbers and we multiply it by 100. So we're either dividing or we're multiplying. For this one here, 0.505 times 100. When you multiply by 100, if you remember a little trick you might have remembered in elementary school, what happens is the decimal just moves over too. 50.5% in this case. If we have 23, 0.23 times 100 is 23%. Some of these you don't even need the calculator for. If you're multiplying, the decimal moves to the right. If you're dividing, the decimal moves to the left. So here we're multiplying by 100. 66%. And finally, 1.50 as a percent. So this is kind of a funny one to think about, because usually it's 0 decimal, but 1.5 would be 150%. So that's more than 100%. But that's still possible. And that's that lesson that we have here. So there's a worksheet for that one as well. You can keep working through.